Thank you for the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to tell you, I'd like to inform you about some things related to what BIM Group worked on. They created a guideline, and I would like to inform you about that guideline. And this guideline tries to answer the question that Thomas just mentioned. These are questions that we often get from our clients. And clients are asking, okay, if I invest €5 into BIM, what do I get back? And it's difficult to answer questions like that. What would be the actual benefit of BIM? Because BIM is not meant to actually make money. But if you have a digital model of your building or of your construction, you don't save money per se, but you can share the information and send it to the last person at the construction site, even to the last cleaning lady. So by being able to do that, I optimize the processes, and this way I can better monitor my profit. As it was already mentioned, for as long as architects or investors believe that BIM is just only the tool for designers, then it will not fulfill its potential. BIM is not a cost item. Rather than that, it's an investment item. So these questions that you see in front of you, whether or not BIM makes sense for a certain project or for a certain stage of the project, or let's say for a family house, these are questions that we get, and I have to say that this guideline was meant especially for public procurers. Do we have anyone from public procurement here? Any representatives? I know that some of them registered, and we even had some of them. We had phone calls with some of them. In any case, this is meant for the private sector as well. This group of smiling people means a lot for us. Unfortunately, Slovakia is not represented here, but on regular basis, we participate in the work of BIM Task Group. And Thomas is represented, or Thomas is one of the people there. So this is the handbook that they issued. So basically, what they created was that, or what you can do is that you feed the data about your company or about your institution on one side, and on the other hand, it would actually show you whether it makes sense for you to use BIM, and also how you can save money, or how much you can save, and therefore how much you can make money. The state is the greatest owner of assets, and that is why also this handbook focuses on public procurers. There are many countries participating. Unfortunately, Slovakia was not one of them. We assisted with the handbook just by answering some surveys. there were approximately 500 subjects or entities approached, and one of the results is also a SWOT analysis, and I would like to highlight one specific point in that SWOT analysis. This is something that we often encounter as designers, and also when Rado had his presentation, when he said, like, if you could interfere with the software, or if you could talk to software, what would you do? Because there are some monopoly softwares that are influencing our lives, and that is one of the threats. One of the threats is the monopoly of some software companies. So the amount of money you save depending on how skilled you are. Usually, we work with levels 1 and 2, and 70% of people responded that they don't use BIM at all, or they are at the level of 0 or 1. And then the next table shows us data about how much it costs to do the trainings per person, then cost of licenses, etc. So this was basically cost-benefit analysis. And then the greatest determinant is the ratio between the cost and benefits, and also the net present value. We also monitor the costs and the benefits. These are the indicators that were included or assessed in this cost-benefit analysis. I can highlight some of them. For example, a saving by timely detection of collisions. They really attempted to achieve sophisticated results. So inputs that are inputted into the spreadsheet are some general information about the client, then information about the actual modeling, and then the characteristics of the actual construction, whether these are buildings or infrastructure or anything else. And then what's the most important is the result, and that's the ratio between the costs, between benefits and costs, and economic ratio between the two. And if you get a positive number, that means that you would actually benefit from using BIM. Then there are some analysis of real case scenarios or real case studies. I'll show you two of them, and I also try to fill in the table with a client that we had. So this is how it looks like. On the left-hand side are the inputs, and then on the right-hand side are the values, how much you can save by using this or that level of BIM. So one of the case studies is an athletic hall. Unfortunately, we cannot go into details right now, but you can download the case studies. But here are the conclusions. You can see that there is difference between BIM or BIM 1 and BIM 2. So this is or this gives some indication to the public procurer what to do, whether to outsource this, and the second case study is the infrastructure. So the amount the assessment or the it's approximately 10 to 15 million of euros, and if you look at the conclusions, you see that there are differences between BIM 1 and BIM 2. So in BIM, the more complex the structure, the higher the efficiency. And of course, this handbook focuses on certain target groups, which includes the public policy creators and the state sector, but it can be also used in the private sector. I don't want to make any polemics about the relevance and sophistication of the outputs that you get, but if you use this tool, it will definitely help you or help your client to know how much they could save by investing into BIM. This is a specific case study, something that we did with a bus depot in Bratislava, in Petržalka. We tried to feed the spreadsheet with all the data, and as you can see, if you go to the bottom left corner, there is the operation and maintenance, and then the net present value shows that BIM for this particular project had a great benefit, especially for operation and maintenance. So let me just repeat the value of BIM in the three main phases. That means the preparation, construction, and life cycle. The BIM is especially valuable for the last part of it. That means the operation and maintenance. And here you can see a sophisticated quantification in euros. So as I said at the beginning, it's really about or whenever we implement BIM, we should change our way of thinking. Usually the investors cannot grasp why BIM would be a contribution. They still think that this is something that this is overkill and they don't need it because for 30 years they have been doing it in a different way, and why should be doing it this way? So, but this is it is not a question of if, but rather a question of when this will be standard everywhere. And let me conclude by saying that to create such a comprehensive tool for the calculation of costs and for the calculation of costs and benefits, this was not only the objective was not only to say whether or not a BIM would be useful or beneficial in a certain case, but even to quantify how much they could save. And if you can show your clients that it would make sense for them to use BIM, I think it's a fantastic tool. Thank you for your attention.